elderly person should be alone on Christmas Day, unless they want to be. I didn't want to be. That's why I'm here, enjoying a 3-course meal in a community hall with like-minded company, making Christmas memories. I live by myself in sheltered accommodation. I've my own self-contained flat, but there's a warden on site that keeps an eye on us. I've got it just how I like it, nice and cosy. I did live with my friend once, Eileen, but she died not long after we moved in. Oh, she'd have really enjoyed today. I call her my friend, but truth is, she was my partner for over 30 years. Yes, my partner. There, I said it. She deserves that much. Davina, the organiser, told me, as far as I'm concerned, Belle, if this event's helped just one person, then it's worth it. That woman deserves a medal. She's been whizzing around all day like a blue-bottom fly. Nothing's been too much trouble. It's nice to be around folk. My neighbours keep themselves to themselves. Suits me. There are some right oddballs in my block. Everywhere closes at Christmas, and I usually end up feeling like a shut-in myself. Whereas I might normally pop down to the corner shop to have a chat with a checkout girl or talk with someone in the queue. Even that shuts this one time of year. But they do have an active, if eclectic, notice board in our 7 to 11. That's how I found out about this. Be yourself at Christmas, it said on the poster. LGBT plus and Christmas event for seniors. Well, I've heard of community Christmas dinners for seniors on telly. And I've heard of LGBT plus seniors groups, but never the twain. Wasn't interested in the former. One horrible heterosexual snide comments can make you feel even more isolated than you would spending it alone. Though Eileen would likely have told them off and to get stuffed for both of us. No, this event was different. This one appealed. I even felt a bit excited. And I must have felt brave. Must have. I've spent most of my life in hiding. But I plucked up the courage and rang the contact number. Davina couldn't have been nicer. Gave me something to look forward to instead of looking back. I've been on my own since Eileen passed. No children, see. Didn't go down that route, though I was married once. To Jeff. And the less said about him, the better. I was feeling very lonely, if I'm honest. I didn't know what to do until I saw that flyer. Couldn't bear the thought of facing another Christmas Day on my lonesome. So I plucked up the courage and came here. Inclusive Christmas, they call it. I'd be on my own otherwise, just sitting there watching the goggle box before having an early night. That'd be it. I wouldn't have a Christmas dinner if I'm on my own. I'd just a microwave meal or something like that. Might have treated myself to a roast chicken dinner from M&S and an individual sherry trifle. Yeah, I think that's what I'd have done. No point in buying crackers. No fun in pulling one on your own, is there? Now, these past few years, I've found the 25th of December a bit miserable. The media's always going on about what a fabulous time everyone's having. Everyone except me. Or so they'd have you think. Even when I was a couple, the two of us could feel lonely on Christmas Day. Near the end, I was more or less Eileen's full-time carer. And all I wanted was for Christmas to go back to being the way it was. We had some memorable Christmases and New Year's. Spent a couple of them in Malta. Sunsets and cocktails instead of dark nights and cocoa. Happy days. Instead of how it ended up with me having to do all the cooking, cleaning and looking after. Bringing Eileen here would have given me a break. Oh, and she'd have loved it. She'd have been in her element. She always was the more social one of us two. I mean, Christmas is a time when you shouldn't be alone and should be able to forget your problems, isn't it? I had a bit of a restless night last night. I put it down to anxiety and a touch of indigestion. Took me ages to nod off. Then I was startled awake by the whole clock chiming 1, and my eyes shot open. I just laid there, focusing on the light fitting. I didn't want to turn my head sideways because I just knew Eileen was stood there beside the bed, like the ghost of Christmas past, holding out her hand and wanting to lead me back to happier days. So I pulled the duvet over my head and forced myself back to sleep. I knew, you see, instinctively that was one trip I wasn't likely to come back from. She wasn't just my partner. She was the best friend I've ever had. And I do miss her. She always spoiled me at Christmas with gifts and that. Said she was making up for her own childhood. She came from a large family with a low income. Said she'd consider herself fortunate if she got an apple and an orange when she were a kid. Made it sound like something out of Charles Dickens. Slight exaggeration, I think, but one that worked to my advantage. She listened to me, did Eileen. She'd listen to me throughout the year and make mental notes, what I liked and what I might want. And then Christmas morning, all them thoughtful things would be there, wrapped up with a shiny bow. I woke up early. Still dark outside, of course. Peeped through the curtains, and there it was. A winter wonderland straight off a Christmas card. Just my luck. I mean, when was the last time it snowed on Christmas Day? Must be best part of 15 years. But I'm going out for once, so it snows. Typical. I was consoling myself with a second cup of tea when I got a text from Davina. It told me not to worry. They'd get me by hook or by crook, it said. Well, that cheered me right up. I mean, how kind was that? Can't fault the organisation today. 11 o'clock, they said they'd collect me, and they turned up on the dot. Ferried me here by minibus, and I get a lift back. Oh, luxury. I don't drive. I never learned. I never needed to. Eileen chauffeured me everywhere. She loved that car. She called it Minnie, 'cause it were a Minnie. The day started a bit nervously, not knowing the other diners, but by the end of my plum pudding, well, it feels like a life-changing event. And there are still the mince pies to come, that's a bonus. I mean, some people aren't partial, but as I was just saying to Andrea on the left, I could eat a box of 6 all to myself if I was left to my own devices. Oh, we did laugh. Oh, I've met some lovely people today. Really interesting people with a story to tell. And funny, some of them. So funny. Davina took a group photo and all the smiles are genuine. One of the other helpers, Stacey's, printing out as we speak. We're all getting a copy in a frame and that'll be our Christmas present. Modern technology, eh? I'll put mine on the mantelpiece when I get home, where I can see it, next to my favourite one of Eileen, so she can see what a lovely day I've had. She's trans, is Davina. I only mention it because I've never met a trans woman before. I need to get out more. She's a lovely woman. And I do plan to get out more now I've made a start. I'm told they have regular events. I'm on the mailing list now. It's nice to know there are good people in the world, especially at Christmas. Yeah, especially at Christmas.